Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, Monday night, April the 2nd. And the market just keeps pressing higher, but we're in a time zone now that's very critical from a lot of cycle standpoints. And I'm going to give everyone a lot of word of caution, but we can continue to play the market on the long side until they return them down. We'll see when that comes. Meanwhile, some stars of today in alphabetical order: AGEN, Antigenics. It's growing in closely. It popped out last Thursday, had an inside day Friday, and today popped again, reaching 741. Now that 741 is right at the top of this line right there, that channel top. But I think if the momentum carries this forward, we may very well see 9.5. That's my next target. But let's see if it does pierce through this channel top. ANIK, Anika Therapeutics, is acting great as well. A beautiful rising channel, and has been since the low in October when it was trading around just over 5. Here it is, 13.5, folks, and looking like the top of the channel may be just ahead around the 13.75, 14 zone. But again, should these start to spike up into tops here, we could see this reach 15, 16, maybe even 17 before it's over. CETV broke out with a pop today out of a big wedge pattern and took out the declining tops line going back for the last year or so. And, well, at least 9 months. Now, the next target would be the a test of this zone of resistance around 9. I suspect that may be tested soon. Secondary target around 12. Dang had a big day today. And when I say big, I mean it took out this line of resistance and this top here with a thrust on 10.8 million shares, the biggest volume since July of last year. And it broke out. So we can see an extension of maybe 10.5. Secondary target up around 12, 12.5. EPAM, recent new issue, started moving here in March and been stair-stepping its way higher. Spiked last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, consolidated, particularly with the quiet inside day Friday, and today popped out of this pattern. And you can see that the stock gained $1.19 or 5.8% on 440,000 shares. Not especially strong volume, but it does appear the stock may have some more upside, with a target about 23.4 range. GLUU, well, after the pop last week, the stock has pulled back in a little bit of a consolidation mode. We're looking for a move that takes out the 518 high and gets us up to my next target around 6605. Should it get out over there, we're going to see this stock maybe move into the high single digits in the 8-9 zone. LNG, well, I want you to keep your eye on this today because it popped 60 cents or 4%. Volume was 4.9 million, but if it gets across this line with any authority, let's just call that the line right there. And we can see this strike, or surge, I should say, and get up towards 2021. That's my next target. Pozen, a nice move coming out of this wedge pattern here. Let's clear it up for you. You can see how the stock popped today, running up another 45 cents or 7.5%, and we're closing right on resistance line and near my target at 6.5. Now, Pozen gets through here. The long-term chart shows this is a big resistance zone, and the next resistance is up around, let's call it 8.25. That will be my next target zone for Pozen, somewhere up around there. QLIK up, jumped to $1.15 today. And you can see after popping through the resistance zone here, it settled back for a 3-day flag. And today popped $1.15 or 3.5%. Coming out of the flag. And this flag indicates my next target is up around the 36 zone for QLIK. That's my next target. QUIK also popped today. And you can see resistance up here around 319 would be my next minor target. It's only a dime from here, so should it get through there, we could see a run up towards 450.60, my next target. So keep an eye on this one. RGEN continues to spike and maybe a little overbought here, but momentum is very strong in this one. And you can see how it's run from about 320 all the way up to 620 and almost doubled in the last 90 days. Going through key overhead resistance here with my next target now having to be up around 7.15. That's my next target for this one. Shuffle Master, tremendous chart of late. Nice rising channel. Today popped out of this little flag was forming. Looks like it may test the top of the channel around 20. Santarus, SNTS, we put out a swing chart on it today. The reason I did is I saw a major breakout of a long-term channel here, a long-term resistance line. This goes back about 5 years. Now, if things go the way they should, we could see this stock, if volume follows through, up around 10. That's my next target. It's a big one. That's why we have a swing trade target on it. But my swing trade is about 7.5, 3/4, 8 range. SWHC. Well, look at this chart. Pop flag, and today pop again up 72 cents or 9%. 4.9 million traded. I'm not sure where this is going, but look at this momentum stock. And now that it's gone across this line, that's another major reason why this stock may spike up into the 11-12 zone short term. Big move on THRX today. Spiked up 379 on 2.3 million shares and cleanly broke out above this line and tested that line before it backed up just slightly at the close. But should it get through the 24 range, I would look for the stock to make it up towards about 27.8. TWER, another good day for this one. But it did, after reaching my goal around the 575.85 area, tagging 586 today, it pulled back to 522. Still up 47 cents or 9, almost 10%, but it gave back a big chunk of it. Did not close well. Let's see if it comes back. If it does get through today's high, through the 585.6 zone, that takes out some major resistance here. And we can look at the long-term chart and see that next target would be up around 7.75. Up around there. Lastly, today's Vringo, the star of the day, to say the least. Look at this intraday 5-minute chart. I'll give it a 5-minute. Popped, ran, wedged, broke out and ran big time. And then just when it looked like it was going to fall apart, came out with for an amazing close for the stock today, near the upper end of the range. On the day, up $1.45 or 88% on 18 million shares, which is about 80% more than the float. So fantastic day for that stock. And what it did was break out a long-term resistance. At this time, I would look for at least a test of the 360 area, maybe even up around the $4 zone, a possible target. That's my swing trade target, 3 3/4 to 4, up around here. We shall see what we get. But anyway, that's it for tonight.